Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Call to order. Flag. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. Mr. Vishal Patel.
Here.
Ms. Peng.
Here.
Mr. Shi.
Here.
Ms. White. Ms. Anjana Patel.
Here.
Mr. Lugo.
Here.
Mr. Ronak Patel.
Here.
Mr. Erico is
Here.
There he is. Mr. Azzarello.
Here.
Here he is. All right. We have a quorum.
Opening statement.
Yes. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Public Law 1975 C 231 Sunshine Law, the Edison Township Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Board of Education administrative offices and posted on the board's website.
Cool. In accordance with NJSA Section 10(4.12, the Edison Township Board of Education adjourns to confidential session for the purpose of discussing the following: confidential confidential personal and board matters, student matters, pending litigation, legal matters, contracts, property acquisitions, HIV reports. Motion to adjourn to the privilege session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We expect to come back between 6 and 6:30. Thank you.
6 and 6:30, that's all right.
reconvene to open session. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call. Stone?
You don't need a.
You don't need, okay, superintendent's report.
Thank you so much, Board President Patel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope all is well. Much like everybody else in the room, I am sure we are wishing for warmer weather where the sun comes out and we do not have to worry about ice on the ground, school closings, and snow melting. As everybody is aware, the first 2 days of school that were closed came out of the beginning of spring break. We are actually monitoring the weather coming up for the next couple of days as well, too. Looks like we're getting a little bit of weather tomorrow, potential for Thursday into Friday, as well as Sunday into Monday. The third day that we took, which was today, we will announce next week. We'll get correspondence as to which day we will utilize to make that one up. Perfect. Sorry about that. In relationship to that, I just wanted to take an opportunity to thank Mr. Colobus, Mr. Murphy, as well as all members of the Buildings and Grounds, Maintenance and Custodial Department. Our schools looked absolutely fantastic. I had the opportunity to drive around town today. Everybody was out working, and it was really a satisfying and pleasurable piece to be the superintendent of schools, watching these guys work every day. So, Mr. Colobus, Mr. Murphy, thank you so much for your leadership in relationship to that area. Got it. Perfect. All right, couple events coming up here, Mr. Patel. We have Read Across America, which will be celebrated March 2nd to the 6th. This year is the Champion of Kindness. Beyond just reading, our students will participate in activities that bridge the gap between literacy, social and emotional growth. Look out for some special guest readers. I think I'm sitting alongside many of them currently right now, as well as myself and members of the administrative team that will be in and out of schools. It's highlight of the month is to get in and sit on the carpet and read some really interesting books. Those principals do pick out some good books for everybody to read. Greatly appreciated. We are also in the tail end of winter concerts currently right now. Menlo Park and Lindenau had theirs. We have upcoming MLK, I believe, on February 27th, hopefully weather permitting. Piece of information for the board. We are still in the midst of reviewing and revisiting our scheduling for middle and high school. We have a couple surveys that have currently been approved and are scheduled, and I think have gone out not only to students, there's one set for parents as well, staff members, so you'll be seeing those coming through Thought Exchange in relationship to perceptions of things that they like about the schedule, things that they'd like to see changed at that time frame as well, too. We have some school visitations that we've been coordinating. We've had to cancel our last strategic meeting, and we're looking forward to rescheduling that in the coming weeks right now. It's been a little hectic with the weather, unfortunately. And as you know, March is coming up. Our next Board of Education meeting will be our preliminary budget approval meeting, as we are in the midst of budget season and making sure that we are providing a quality education here in relationship to being fiscally responsible. And that concludes my report, Mr. Patel.
Thank you, Dr. O'Reilly. I want to echo Dr. O'Reilly's appreciation for our building and staff. So thank you for making sure our school can operate, regularly starting tomorrow. And I'm looking for Read Across America and be part of the reading club. So thank you. That's all I got.
Great.
Dr. Toth?
Awesome.
So, Mr. Toth?
Yes. All right, first up under finance is our reports and our financials for the month, including our audit. We have from our audit firm, HFA, Mr. James Namath here will deliver the audit report for the fiscal year 25. We have some contracts this month, pretty light, one technology contract, and I believe one for some concrete and masonry repairs. Under procurement, no items. Facilities, we do have some change orders, one being at the Edison High School interior and alterations project, and one at the John Marshall renovation and building addition project. Under grants, we have, I believe, one item, and that's for the submission of the High Impact Tutoring Grant. I don't know if everyone's heard, but that has become available throughout the state, so we did get our application in. And then under transportation, we have one route to report at this time. That's it. Yes. And at this time, we'd like to invite Mr. James Namath from HFA to provide the board with the FY25 audit report.
All right. Thank you, everyone. My name is James Nemeth. I'm a supervisor with HFA. We're reporting on Edison's 24-25 audit report. My goal right now is just to take a couple minutes, just to take this 200-page report and summarize it into just a few key details. So in the audit report itself, we issue a couple of opinions, basically on our opinion on the district's financial statements. The first opinion we issue is called the Independent Auditor's Report. This is basically conducted with generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards. We issued an unmodified opinion, which is the cleanest opinion that we can issue, basically saying that the financial statements are fairly stated in all material respects for the year June 30, 2025. Another report that we issue is called Report on Internal Control over Financial Reporting and Compliance. This is not an opinion, but this is more of a report on the district's overall internal controls. We conduct several compliance tests, local public contracts laws, stuff like that. We did not come across any instances of non-compliance or other matters that are required to be reported. And then the last opinion that we issue is called the Independent Auditor's Report on Compliance and over Internal Control for your single audit program. So when a school district, township, governmental entity expends over $750,000 of federal or state funds, we're required to perform what's called a single audit, which is basically a mini audit inside of the whole scope of the audit. The programs that we tested this year were Child Nutrition Cluster, which is your food service for the federal side, and on the state side, we tested your state aid public, which is one of your biggest sources of revenue for the district, along with reimbursed TPAP. For that report, we issued an unmodified opinion, and there were no instances of noncompliance or any findings to report for that. The last couple things I just want to talk about. For the overall financial statements, we did not have any financial statement findings for the year June 30th, 2025. The district has done a great job at, bringing over the past couple years that I've been on the audit, getting everything in tip-top shape. So this, I believe, is the third year in a row with no financial statement findings. We have a separate report that we issue called the Auditor's Management Report, where we noted something, a finding for the district's net cash resource schedule. This is something that we see across the state. It's not a financial statement finding, it's just something that goes in the separate report that we issue. Basically just when the COVID and ARP funds were given out, the state gives us a formula to for the districts to kind of dwindle down that cash. We see it a lot across the state, and this is just something that the districts statewide have to just kind of come up with a plan to how to reduce the overall cash in their food service. And the last thing I just want to go over number-wise is your main fund balances in your general fund, which is your main operating fund. For the year 2025, we ended a year with about $59.3 million. Your capital reserve had about $23 million. We had a budget withdrawal of about $10 million. Your maintenance reserve had about $1.3 million. Your emergency reserve had about $1 million. Your unemployment reserve had about $750,000. Your encumbrances, which are your open purchase orders for goods or services not received yet, had about $1.6 million. Excess surplus, this is basically a formula that the state gives us for your overall unassigned fund balance. Anything over 2% of your total expenditures has to go into this fund called excess surplus, which will then be budgeted in 2 years. So this excess surplus for this audit of about $6 million will be budgeted in the 26-27 budget. Last year, we had excess surplus of about $16.9 million, which is being budgeted in the 25-26 budget. And your overall unassigned fund balance, which is the maximum that you could have because anything else falls into excess surplus, is about $8 million this year. And I did just want to take a second to thank John, Jackie, the board, Dr. Aldarelli, John's staff, Jackie, everyone. We come out in October and November when there's not snow outside for a couple weeks. They give us everything we need. They're great at getting back to us and really make it easy for us. So if anyone does have any questions, I'd be happy to take them. If not, John does have my contact if you think about them later. So yeah, that's all I got.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you, I know it's a 200-page report. Can you send the board a summary of, just a couple pages?
Yeah.
And also the findings? And also, I need to, the numbers that you mentioned about different funds, I'd like to see that as part of the writing as well, so.
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely. I could send you the summary I have to John. and
Yeah,
then-
I actually have the synopsis. It's actually, for everyone could see it, if you go onto our website, it's posted under the business office. Click on the business office tab, and the synopsis is there. It's a 2-page synopsis of the audit. Give you a pretty good idea of where we stand.
And there's those money, dollar amount is also in the 2-page synopsis?
The fund balances?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a breakdown of it.
That's in the, okay.
Yes,
Well,
yep.
then you don't have to do anything.
Awesome.
We're pretty good at what we do.
Yeah,
And,
business
uh,
office.
and I just, commend on JT and his office for doing a great
Thank you.
job. And if I remember in the past couple of years, we always have some little things here and there. And I'm very glad to see we have nothing.
Yep.
And we have read in the newspapers, there are a lot of districts have issues.
Yep.
And the 2 districts in Middlesex County is our neighboring district, Perth Amboy and Spotswood. And I'm glad that we're not in that group.
Absolutely.
And kudos to the
Thank you,
BA
Mr. Shea.
office and the
Absolutely.
team.
Absolutely. They
Yeah.
do a great job. They
Yeah.
they take care of us. So
HFA has done a great job. I'd like to thank Miss Becci. She's not here tonight.
Absolutely.
Also, Mr. Garland and Miss Mendez, who's here
Yep.
with us. They've done a really, really great job in the last couple of years, helping to get us on the right path. And then again, with your office as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Again, if anyone has any questions, just John has my contact, so feel free. So thank you,
you.
everyone.
Well, next is
Thank
our
you.
student representative. Is that Arush? I'm sorry, we don't have a seat, but yeah.
Right down there.
Video.
Yeah, come here, yeah.
Go down there. Or you could do, no.
Wherever you
Actually,
prefer.
do
If you
it
want
the
there,
mic
you
right
can
there.
do it there,
Do it right
yeah.
there.
Thank you for coming in snow.
No, yeah. You can sleep in tomorrow.
It's a delayed open, it's not, school's not closed, all right?
No, it's sleep in.
Just a delay, just a
You can sleep
delay,
a little
yes.
Feels like it's slippery though.
Oh, 2 hours.
Floor is yours, Mr. Arush. Thank you.
I mean, I try to be on time as much as I can, but yeah. So hi everyone, my name's Arush Bola. I'm a junior at JP, and I'm one of the co-presidents of the Student Council. I'm here to give you guys sort of a recap of what's been going on over the past month at JP. First of all, some big things have been happening. We're kind of moving on into the latter half of this school year with, transition into the 3rd marking period. With that, we're also transitioning to sports, the end of the winter sports. We're moving on to spring sports. And then, most importantly, for some people, seniors are finally getting their college decisions. A lot of happiness going around. But then also, people like me starting to plan to go to college. It's a weird time, but I think it's going on well at JP. In terms of events, at JP, we've been privileged to have a lot of events. Particularly, we've been having, a lot of cultural events. Firstly, at the beginning of this month, we had Teacher Appreciation Night with the girls basketball team playing, and we honored our teachers who work incredibly hard at JP. More than this, we also had our Chinese Culture Club celebrate Lunar New Year by going around with the dragon. It's really interesting. I got to see it in person. And on top of this, we also celebrated Mardi Gras this past Friday, and that was a really nice appreciation for that. And then our band had their annual winter concert, and on top of that, for the NGMEA all-state auditions, we had 22 students make it. And I take band as well, so I take huge pride in that, and I think that was 25% of the total students, which is amazing. And we also had the JPS Science Olympiad compete at the Princeton University Invitational, and they placed in the top 25%. And that's about it for our events this past month. From the Student Council side, we had the Family Feud night, and I thought that was incredible, with the new auditorium, which so grateful for. We had the TVs, we had the new speaker system. That was really great. That went really well. And right now we're partnering with a nonprofit. It's a food drive called Nourish America, and it's dedicated to donating organic food to families in need. And so we're currently working through that. We're working with the entire school and our own student council executive board. And lastly, we're having a volleyball tournament this upcoming Friday, and we're really looking forward to that. We have about 7 or 8 teams in attendance. And so overall, February has really marked strong student achievement. You know, students getting their college decisions, students getting their semester year grades. And we just want to thank you all for your continued support of the JPS community as we move on into the second year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Well, let's
For him,
go for it.
I just have a question.
go to the microphone.
At Edison High, should I get up?
Oh, he can repeat the question. Well, he can repeat the question.
At Edison High, the seniors go visit the elementary schools and they do a wave. Does JP do that? Somebody asked me and I didn't know and I said I would ask.
As far as I'm
Can
aware,
you
I don't-
repeat the question to
Oh,
the people
yeah.
on the TV? They might not hear it.
Yeah, so the question is, do the JP students wave to the elementary school students, the seniors wave to them like the HS students? As far as I'm concerned, I don't know of anything like that. I mean, I don't know that the student council deals with any of that. Maybe the seniors do now, but I'm not too sure about that.
Could you look into that?
Yeah, I could look into that. I'll ask my advisor.
Thank you. And you can leave if you want. Up to you. You're welcome to stay
I had
here.
a huge break, right? I finished all my
Stay here then. Thank you. nice to
Are,
have
are you
you.
happy with the 2 day off, the early spring break?
Oh my God.
Are you very happy with that?
I was like out of my mind on Monday when I saw my.
Can you go home tell your parents that, please?
My parents won't be too happy. They won't.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Well, I'd like to invite our attorney to read the statement.
All right, I think this is working. This was a resolution of suspension in the matter of Anjana Patel. Whereas Anjana Patel, respondent, is a school official as defined in the School Ethics Act, serving as a member of the Edison Township Board of Education, located in Middlesex County. And whereas by decision dated October 28th, 2025, the School Ethics Commission found that respondent failed to file complete personal, relative, and financial disclosure statements as required by NJSA 18A:12-25, NJSA 18A:12-26, and NJAC 6A:28-3.1. And whereas the commission recommended that the Commissioner of Education impose a penalty of removal, with such removal to become effective immediately upon adoption by the Commissioner of Education. However, if respondent filed her disclosure statements before the Commissioner of Education adopted a final decision, then the commission recommended that the Commissioner of Education, in lieu of removal, impose a 30-day suspension, with such suspension to become effective immediately upon adoption by the Commissioner of Education, provided the school official provided written notice that the disclosure statement has been completed and filed. And whereas respondent filed her disclosure statements on November 3rd, 2025, which was after the issuance of the commission's decision, but before the Commissioner of Education issued a final decision. And whereas by decision dated December 12th, 2025, and because respondent filed her disclosure statements after the issuance of the commission's decision, but before the Commissioner of Education issued a final decision, the Commissioner of Education concurred that a penalty of suspension for 30 days was the appropriate penalty in the above captioned matter. And whereas NJAC 6828-9.11D provides that for a penalty of censure, suspension, or removal, a resolution shall be adopted at the Commission's next meeting following the Commissioner's imposition of the sanction, and the resolution shall be read at the Board's next public meeting following adoption by the Commission, shall be posted in such places as the Board posts its public notices for no less than 30 days, shall be published online on the Board's website if available for no less than 30 days, and the reading of the resolution shall be memorialized in the Board's meeting minutes, and once approved, a copy of the minutes shall be forwarded to the Commission. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Commission adopts this resolution stating that respondent is hereby suspended for 30 days from December 15th, 2025 to January 14th, 2026 as a penalty for having been found to have violated NJSA 18A:12-25, NJSA 18A:12 12-26 and NJAC 6A:28-3.1, and be it further resolved that the Edison Township Board of Education is ordered to read this resolution as at its next regularly scheduled public meeting following the commission's adoption, to post it in places such as the board posts its public notices for a period of 30 days, and to publish it online on the board's website if available for no less than 30 days. And be it further resolved that the Edison Township Board of Education shall provide the commission with the minutes once adopted from the meeting at which it reads the within resolution.
Thank you. You done, right?
That's all.
Thank you.
Can I make a
Meg-
comment?
Sure.
I think this is overreacting on the ethics board. It's way overreacting. I had to file that 5 times. And it's 3 times I had to do it in John's office. He had to help me to get filed. So in order for them to censure someone, do something, get your acts together first before you start doing something, right? The ethics board, they have much better issues. They're not doing nothing, and they pick on something like small as this. And I hope that for the record, we also appeal that decision as well. So, that's just my comment. It's total inappropriate, for them to do something like this. And it's their fault, because their system was not up to date, because she did try to file and it doesn't work. And I'm the approves that it did not work twice. Well, actually 4 times.
It's about 4 times.
So that's my comment.
Any other? Yep.
Even I had a similar issue, like when I filed it the very first time, and it got rejected, but I did got that notification, and then I have to refile it again. So, but there was no reason for rejection though, why it did not got uploaded.
It's just not an easy process.
Yep. Cool. Thank you. Review for the agenda item, Dr. Advani?
Sure. Thank you so much, Board President Patel. Our agenda items, as this is a combined caucus meeting, we have our personnel report in relationship to the appointments, as well as resignations, terminations, and some of the retirements that we currently have. Commitment to our Professional Development Institute for the teachers that are receiving first, second, and third increments. Spring sports will be underway, hopefully, right? Baseball starts next week, right? Somewhere in that area. So, hoping that, we'll get creative and have some indoor practices at that time, too. We have our salary guide credits for our staff members that are pursuing post-secondary degrees, as well as our district-wide programs that are title funded for our elementary and middle schools there. We have our administrative report from curriculum under administration right now. We have the celebration of Youth Art Month, which happens every single March. We are looking forward to an outstanding display of the talented students, as well as their teachers, who showcase not only their artwork but their sculptures, and do so in a manner that really highlights our students' talents. We also have policies from alerts 235 and 236 this month, many of which are mandated, others which are being revised. Current policies that the Board of Education have adopted. This is the first reading of those policies as well, too, and they are attached for the Board of Education's review. We have our memorandum of agreement with NJIT for student placements in relationship to our partnerships and the potential to expand upon those pieces, especially for our CTE programs that we're moving forward with. And we also have the approval of the January HIB report as well, too. Under curriculum and instruction, we have our testing schedule for the spring of 2026, robust testing schedule beginning in March, concluding in May with their makeups. We have February is a big field trip month. If you could take a look at it right now, from Edison High School to J.P. Stevens. We have DECA, Indoor Color Guard, FCCLA, all of the spring field trips that transpire during this year as we kind of wind down the remainder of the school year. We also have a professional development report attached for the board's review. Last but not least, we have our special pupil services report for our out-of-district placements for our special education students, as well as Homeless McKinney-Vento Act. And that concludes my portion of the report. I do believe my colleague talked about the finance report previously.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll move on. Public comments for resolutions only. Okay. Motion to close public comments.
Motion to close.
Second?
All All in favor? Aye. Okay, board member comments, resolution only? Okay.
President, I just have a couple of questions, if you don't
Go
mind,
for it.
President.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just looking at the resolution, just really quick, I see there's an award contract for repair and replacement of district sidewalks and curbs, catch basins for $175,000. Is there a particular place in need that needs this repair?
Sure. So we're gonna be doing repairs, Mr. Lugo, throughout the district, but I'm gonna let Mr. Colabas speak to a little bit more about each location.
Ms. Calibas, you only- sorry.
Want to see your pretty
Thank
face.
you.
He's not excited.
You wanna make sure you get your steps, man.
Yes, Board Member Lugo, there is a plan in place to meet with individual principals to discuss their needs and evaluate what they need. There are some areas of concern specifically at Lindenau and a couple other schools. I don't want to go too much detail, but yes, there is a process in place to get that addressed.
Okay. All right,
So
fair enough.
is the 175 is the cap? Like if you don't have all the places, how would we come up with the number?
Now, 175 is the cap. We'll do what we can for 175 and we'll evaluate it then.
Okay,
Okay, good.
Thank
No,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just one more really
yeah,
quick.
go for it.
Under the transportation section, rescind the balance of contract right here due to many service failures. If we rescind the balance, what are we looking at numbers-wise if we're not going to be fulfilling the rest of this contract?
Hang on one second. Is that with, let me just pull it.
Yeah, it's 6G under transportation.
Yeah. I believe that this company went out of business, so the balance we'll use with somebody else.
Oh, the company went out of bid.
Correct.
Ooh,
There's been a
interesting.
few
Okay.
transportation companies, some larger, some smaller,
Right.
that haven't been able to meet the obligations of their contract, and if, whether it's we go through Ed Services or they're under contract direct with us, we'll take the steps to cancel the contracting and then go out and do an emergency contract or utilize the funds to obviously, fulfill the rest of the obligation that we're required to for our students.
Gotcha. But those outstanding funds are able to redirect them? put them
Correct,
back?
yes. They stay
Perfect.
within the
Yeah.
transportation budget, and they're utilized to continue to provide services for students to get them to and from school, just with a different, contract vendor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Logo. Anyone else? Okay, do I have a motion to approve personal?
Motion?
Second.
Wow, that was close.
No, it's not even close.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Shi and Mr. Azarello. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Mr. Errico,
Yes.
Mr. Azarello,
Yes.
Mr. Ronak Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Lugo,
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Shi,
Yes.
Ms. Ping,
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Motion to approve administration, curriculum and instruction and pupil services.
Motion?
Second.
All right.
Mr.
Same,
Patel.
same way as last time, Mr. Shi, Mr. Azarello. Okay, Mr. Azarello,
Yes.
Mr. Errico,
Yes.
Mr. Ronak Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Lugo,
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Shi,
Yes.
Ms. Peng,
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes,
Motion
Um,
carries.
thank you. Do I have a motion to approve finance?
Motion?
Second.
Wow, that's three in a row.
Close again.
Somebody should play that.
You are competing for the
Is the
second.
pick three done yet tonight? Get to take it. All right, Mr. Azarello,
Yes.
Mr. Errico,
Yes.
Mr. Ronak Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Lugo,
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Shi,
Yes.
Ms. Peng,
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Now we have committee reports. First one is policy committee.
Yep.
Mr. Patel.
So we had a policy committee meeting on February 4, 2026. The committee convened to perform comprehensive review of district governance and to address emerging state guidance regarding the school operations. And key discussion point included our annual compliance review. The committee verified the completion of various state mandated administrative tasks, including professional appointments, curriculum updates, and safety certifications. Budgetary planning. A discussion took place regarding the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. General policy alerts. The committee reviewed multiple policy alerts, including Alert 235 and 236, which Dr. Eldaroli just mentioned previously, which covers a range of updates to district regulations. Fiscal and health governance. Discussions were held regarding the technical updates to financial oversight policies and protocols related to the student health permissions. Operational and legal designations. The committee reviewed the assignment of personal authorization to handle specific legal communications. Instructional material and staff conduct. Deliberations occurred regarding the management of library collection and the consolidation of regulations governing staff behavior. Governance update. The committee examined updates to policies regarding the internal relation and the applicability of the certain rule to specify staff groups. Event security initiatives. A proposal was discussed to modify entry requirements and the bag restrictions at the athletic venue to improve safety. At the last, electronic device guidance. The committee explored potential revisions to student device usage policies based on the recent state recommendations. And that concludes the report.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. The next one is finance and facilities. The meeting happened on February 5 at Education Center. And the key highlights of the meetings were we discussed budgetary planning, a status update, and a general discussion took place regarding the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Property acquisition updates were provided regarding the timeline for necessary state approvals related to a specific property purchase. Infrastructure development. Committee reviewed options for building new student center through a phase of the EC program. Transportation service. A review was conducted regarding the pricing structure for the subscription-based service, subscription-based busing. Financial oversight. The results of a recent audit were noted, which reflected the current standing of the district's financial records. Capital projects. Committee assessed the status of upcoming capital projects for the next fiscal year. That concludes the report. The next one is Transportation Committee.
Transportation, thank you, Mr. Patel. Transportation. All right, we discussed the fleet management. There was discussion regarding the condition of the bus fleet, including units currently out of service and potential need for vehicle replacements. Department equipment. The committee reviewed the status of camera systems within the department. Subscription services. A plan was discussed regarding an administration of subscription busing, including processing of applications and placements of students. Route adjustments, potential corrections to certain school maps and specific residential area assignments were reviewed. Field trip activity. The committee noted the total activity involving field trips for the current academic year was informed by the administration that protocols for field trips and budget allotments will be looked into. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is Township Liaison Committee. Ms. Bank.
All right. Township Liaison Committee has a meeting on February 5th from 12:30 to 1:30. Attendees, myself, Michelle Patel, Jerry Shi, Dr. Adarelli, Dr. Huss, Mr. Toth, Mayor Joshi, Chief of Staff, Mr. Deal, and Councilman Biro Patel. So meeting first went over American's 25th anniversary celebration. We engaged students in brainstorming ideas for educational programming and students' involvement related to the celebration events. discussed joint planning efforts and proposed timeline. We have action items, continue coordination between the school district and the township for upcoming commemorative events. The responsible party will be Dr. Huss and the mayor's office. Shared service collaboration, school facility usage. We reviewed the current use of school facilities, including recreation and athletic fields. We discussed the ways to streamline this rental and reservation process to improve efficiency and better serve our students and residents. Action item would be district to contact Township Recreation Department to review current facility usage and explore process improvements. Also discusses resource sharing opportunities, including combined purchasing and storm coordination. Also talked about some old business, including Woodrow Wilson Middle School cricket and baseball field. Action item would be council will revisit the resolution.
God bless you.
The resolution R426-072-024 with Councilman Biro Patel. Also, we discussed the 401 Division Street status. The action item would be explore the potential use of the property currently for sale that may benefit the school district. Also discuss the J.P. Stevens storm water trench maintenance. The action item would be district to obtain research findings from the Township Engineering Department by Mr. Toth. And we have talked about the long-term finance opportunities. This is where the district can really benefit from the collaboration with the township. Discuss the potential shared financing strategies to support facility enhancement and upgrades while minimizing taxpayers' burden. Last, we discussed the sidewalk safety and infrastructure, Floyd Street improvement near J.P. Stevens High School, and enforcement of sidewalk ordinance for new constructions within 2 miles of schools. Collectively, the committee conducted a highly efficient meeting with clearly defined goals, action items, and designated responsible parties. Special thanks to Dr. Aldarelli, Mr. Toth, and committee members for proactively identifying collaboration opportunities. Appreciation to the mayor's office for its enthusiastic partnership and willingness to work closely with our district. Thank you for Councilman Biro Patel for taking the lead on several of the discussed initiatives. The committee look forward to our next meeting. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is curriculum committee.
Oh.
Back to back.
Again. I have to get it. Yeah. Curriculum committee has a meeting on February 10th, 4:30 to 5:30 at Ed Center. We have only one focus for this meeting, expanding our summer program. We all know we have a very long 10-week summer, and we want our students to enjoy a fun and well-deserved summer break. We also recognize the importance of providing meaningful academic opportunities. We do not want our students to spend the entire summer playing video games and being disengaged. So instead, we aim to provide structured programs that allow our students to explore interest, strengthen their academic foundations, and get ready for incoming school years. In previous years, we offered a summer enrichment program, primarily serving grade K through 8, along with several sports programs. This year, we are significantly expanding our offerings. We have designed and launched an entire series of new courses targeted especially towards our middle school and high school students. These courses are structured in flexible formats, meeting approximately 1.5 hours per class over 2 weeks or 4 week sessions. Most of our new classes are in person, as I believe face-to-face interactions is important for these classes and also keep our students focused. We also offer these classes with a hugely discounted rate for our students. And trust me, I've signed up for many out-of-school summer camp for my kids. So we are offering all these classes at most like 1/3 of the regular market price. So we are opening new classes for middle school called Junior Scholars. In addition to previous math courses, we are adding the following new courses: essay writings for each rising 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, CSI, crime scene investigations, intro to AI engineering, pre-med junior, and cool chemistry for middle schools. These are. And for our high school, we are offering high school scholars. In addition to previous courses, we will be adding the following. All of them are in-person classes: essay writing, public speaking and debates, pre-med, pre-law, robotics, intro to business law, intro to marketing, political science, intro to anatomy and physiology, EHS STEM Academy, and Biomedical Academy in both high schools. So although the meeting lasted only an hour, the work behind all these changes require extensive planning and collaboration. I would like to sincerely thank Dr. Al-Rally for his full, strong support for these new expansions, and Dr. Valentine for taking the lead in working with me over the weekends and throughout the week to finalize the requirement and redesign the entire summer program. We're hopeful that this summer, all of our students from K through 5, and especially our middle school and high school students, will have a productive and enjoyable experience that thoroughly balance fun and growth. So stay tuned for more to come. We're going to send out notice for these summer courses soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peng. And I know there was a lot of back and forth between you and district leadership to make it happen. So appreciate your time and commitment for that. Next is Athletic Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. It was held on February 11th here at the office. We got an update on all the winter sports, both at Edison High School and J.P. Stevens. It was a very successful winter season. We discussed the hockey cost. It cost about $70,000, and we're going to look into our agreement with Metuchen because we're part of the Metuchen. So we're going to see if we're getting our fair share. Discuss freshman teams and participation. Freshman teams seem to be an issue for whatever reason. I don't know what the students are doing, but hopefully they're doing something, other than sports and maybe academic. We went through the updates. I did ask Mr. Marzano to see if he could send the board, like Mr. Ross does at Edison High School, the schedule for athletics, so we all could possibly attend. That's the way I find out what's going on at Edison High School, and I attend when I can. I've attended a few at J.P. Stevens, but that's only because I, saw an email or whatever. We discussed the spring sports and equipment needs and uniform needs. Nothing out of the ordinary. Coaching vacancies, J.P. Stevens still needs a track and field coach for throwing events. Edison High School needs one assistant boys volleyball coach and a track advisor for intramurals. Uniforms, discussed agreement. We have an agreement with Under Armour where we get 40% discount. So all our shirts and uniforms, I guess, so we're going through Under Armour where we get 40% off. Middle school flag football pilot program to begin in the spring. Open gyms are doing well, Mr. Vittel. Volleyball, lacrosse, basketball seem to be the three major sports that they're interested in, but both athletic directors said it's doing very well. Cricket field for J.P. Stevens, they're going to use Woodrow Wilson's home as a home field and work around the middle school schedule. Building and facilities, there's some requests. Edison High School's training room needs some upgrades and remodeling. I know Mr. Calabas is looking into that. Nothing major. J.P. Stevens weight room and training room, same thing. We're looking into that. Wish list, big wish list here. Edison High School would like a new gym. Good luck with that. Wish list, new bleachers for J.P. Stevens with the storage underneath. I guess they don't have any storage underneath. So again, nothing for this upcoming budget. Hopefully for the following year, if we could, we'll do what we can. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Arico. Just a little background on that open gym. I think Mr. Arico and I have been working for 12 months to figure out
Yeah.
opening our gym so that our students can practice of ours. So we have to work with the township to understand when they are using the gym and when gyms are available. And finally, we figure out a schedule, and then both the high schools are opening up the gym so that our students can practice and play sports after school. So
Mhm.
thank you for making
You're
it
welcome.
happen.
Mr. Patel, can I talk about the library board? That
Yeah,
wasn't on the agenda.
absolutely.
I attended 2 meetings with the library board for Dr. Aldarelli's consigliere. The library board's moving along. The North Edison Library is coming along. There was a woman, I'm waiting for an email, that would like to donate 1,000 books to our preschool program. So I told her, as soon as I get her information, I will forward it to Dr. Tui. Also, Alan, the director of the libraries, would like to see what we can do with the schools coming fall with the bookmobile. They're getting a brand-new bookmobile. So I'll have them contact Dr. Aldarelli, and we'll go from there. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Patel.
The next one is Special Education Committee. Mr.
Thank
Patel.
you, Mr. Patel. The Special Education Committee meeting was held on February 4th, and the timing were 4:30 p.m. and the location Caucus Room. And the attendees of this meeting were Mr. Lugo, Mrs. White, Mr. Azzarello, Dr. Tuhi, Dr. Alderelli, and Ms. Guzman. So our discussion was held regarding the program changes at Edison Success Academy for year 25-26 school year. Specifically, the increase in the size of the program with the addition of staff, the expansion of the Edison Success Academy to include tuition-based placements was reviewed, along with clarification of referral, intake, and placement procedures. Prosperi, a virtual counseling service at Edison Success Academy, provides guidance on how to transition internship into employment opportunities after high school. An overview of behavioral threat assessment and management was provided, including the background and purpose of the framework, the protections afforded to students with disabilities within the process, and ongoing staff training and implementation efforts were also reviewed. Staff wellness support and available district resources were reviewed, such as district wellness portal, wellness collective, reward program were highlighted, mental health and wellness support for students were discussed. And that concludes the report.
Thank you. Public comments? Public comments? Yeah, go for it.
We should let the kids speak if they wanted to.
Yep, I didn't
Whoever
see any
see-
raise.
Hi, Harish Satineni, 45 McKinley Street. Hope everybody enjoyed shoveling the snow. More is coming. Anyway, so several things. First and foremost, the Stop Finder app. I am not sure if I'm doing something wrong, but I have really no clue what it really does, if at all it does anything. And I heard the same comment from some other parents. When I open it, all I see is a map of North Edison, which I really don't need at this stage, after living there for so many years. North side of Edison, sorry. So I tried it at several times. When the bus is on time, when the buses are late, it's still the same. So I thought the whole idea of having that was to inform the parents whenever there are delays or something of that sort, but I don't know. So some clarification on that front would be helpful. Second, we spend millions on the gyms, which is good. How difficult is it to spend a few thousands on some strength training equipment for middle school gyms? Next is Next is that parent-teacher conference. I know I joked about this, spoke about this earlier, that you really need to have a high-speed internet connection like the Wall Street traders at Goldman Sachs have to get the slot. So again, I'm not sure of the legal issues, but is it possible that if a person, if the student is doing all okay, maybe don't even send them an email, their parents? Again, as I said, I don't know all the legal ramifications of this, so just an idea. Or send them, a teacher could send them, their parents an email that all is good, this is the written report, and keep that reserved for the students who are really in need of it. Because we really need to, fix that. It's high time. Every year, it's the same story. Every year on social media, on all the groups, it's the same discussion. So once again, coming to the same old topic, and some people will not like this, but I have said this almost a year back. It is about the school calendar. And as someone once said in the, ETEA conference, both the strength and the weakness of Edison schools is the diversity. So because of diversity and various cultures, we have lots of religious holidays, yes, and that's why school extends into well beyond the mid of June, and we have the AC problem in summer. Everything is known. There's nothing new that I'm talking. And as of this week, obviously, a lot of parents are extremely pissed off. So Rockstar, you are the target. So 2 days are already gone in the spring break, and I don't know how and where you are going to adjust the third day. Going forward, one suggestion is maybe we could not have President's Day. I believe except for President Trump, everybody else will be okay with that. Just an idea. But more importantly, we spoke about the sensitive thing, the religious holidays. The elected members especially should be in anywhere in the world. They should be representative of the demographics of that particular area, be it a country or a state or a town or a county or whatever. And unfortunately, yes, Edison is a diverse township, which is good, but we need to be fair. We need to give one religious holiday of choice to the major cultures. Obviously, we cannot give a religious holiday to all the different cultures living in Edison. Then it will be like, I don't know, school will be like continuing well into July. If that is not possible, one religious holiday per culture, why don't we just remove everything and follow the Woodbridge model? And whoever wants to take whatever religious day off, they will take off. For that matter, I'll be very frank and honest here. I don't know which Indian Einstein proposed that Diwali should be the holiday for the Indian Americans. But as far as I know, both the religious ceremony and the fireworks ceremony on Diwali is in the evening. There isn't much to do during the daytime. Since you are giving holiday, if we cannot clean the house on the weekend, we, especially in my family, we do it on the day in the morning. But otherwise, there are other major Indian festivals for which holidays could be given. But anyway, that's not the topic of discussion. The main point is we need to have proper spring breaks and fall breaks so that students get a break from the hectic, tedious schedule. And for that, we need to streamline things in terms of the holidays. I can't be more frank than this. As I said, either follow Woodbridge model, which many people won't like, or just make it fair and square for everybody. So some people getting more, some people getting less. It's always a point of not so very friendly discussion.
Thank you.
That's it. Thanks.
Dr. Rowley, you want to address?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for bringing the Stop Finder information to my attention. First, Mr. Toth?
Yeah, this is the first complaint that I've had, I would say this school year in response to Stop Finder. That being said, listen, I'm more than welcome to have someone reach out to you from the department to help you kind of work through any issues that you may be having with it. But in the interim, like if there is an issue when it comes to transportation, obviously you call. But like many of our routes, not all of them are on Stop Finder, so I always revert to, you have an assigned bus stop time, right? And let's say it's 9 o'clock. Well, there's a rule of thumb, and I know we put out the information many, many times that you should be out there about 5 to 10 minutes before the bus arrives, so as, if it gets there a little bit earlier, you're not missing the bus. And I think that's been, we put that information out probably over the last 2 years, early when I've gotten here, and there's, it's allowed for students to, not have to wait outside for 30 or 40 minutes, because I think our buses are pretty much hitting their targeted stop times on their routes. But we'll definitely have someone reach out to you and help you along with the software.
Thank you.
Great.
Parent teacher, I think, can we come up, that's.
Yeah, so these are conversations that we've had not only with
Right.
Mr. Revnick and Mr. Campione, but listen, we fully understand that, look, parents want to hear all things about their students, about their children, right? They want to hear how well that they're doing and how we're going to push them forward and how we're going to challenge them, and also, those conversations where we can provide a little bit of remediation and extra support for those pieces. I do understand that conferences are usually dedicated to the latter, to those students that need a little bit of extra support, right, or aren't progressing as we move forward throughout the school year. There's probably a happy medium in there somewhere in relationship to that. I don't discount that the ETEA, as well as myself and members of our organization, can come up with a happy medium on those pieces in order to accommodate, draw a balance between those, right? It's kind of like the school calendar, almost. It's drawing a balance, right? So right now, there's pictures of my face with dartboards on them, I'm sure, on North and South Edison currently right now, right? Which kind of comes with the territory. It's also there in the summer when it's June 24th and you're on the second floor of Edison High School and it's 126 degrees in one of the classrooms too. I do hear you in relationship to equity across not only the holidays that are associated with specific religious components. We do try to balance them, but also the understanding that there might be a model in which we do, follow just legal holidays, right? Which would be, Election Day. It would be President's Day. It would be all of those components that we do, which eliminates any type of bias, right, or any type of favoritism towards any particular religious holiday. And I just actually told the board in closed session that the school calendar in closing school day probably gives me the most anxiety of any decision that I have to make. I mean, we're getting weather tonight too, right? Which is the reason why I felt the need to call a delayed opening, right? We've got 3 feet of snow currently on the ground. Of course, the timing for this snow is coming at 4:30 in the morning, right? Can't come tonight, which makes it a little bit easier. Coming at 4:30 in the morning. I worry about 17-year-old student drivers on the road that early, as well as our buses at that time too. And so, if I have the opportunity to delay and still get a full day of school in, I'd rather err on the side of caution that way. Yeah, I'm a little conservative in my thinking. But I do hear you about the school calendar. We are looking at alternative drafts in relationship to building in more snow days for next year, too. I can promise you that you will see versions of that for the upcoming approval in March, as well as some other components that we're working at with the board, as well as Mr. Revnick and his leadership team, too. So I hear you on all of those. And it's kind of 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. It's tough to make a good decision that's equitable across everything. So
Thank
the
you.
dumbbells, I missed the conversation about the.
I think it's strength training, right? Any equipment, anything you can do, but students can
Oh, sure.
practice strength training.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a really good weight room over at Herbert Hoover, as well as all of our schools, right? And I know that some of our staff members utilize both of those in the morning too. So, yeah. So I would definitely advocate, through budget allocations in the middle schools for those pieces.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah. Great.
Cool. Anyone else, public comments? Yep. Ms. Conway?
Elizabeth Conway, Edison, New Jersey. I would just like to follow up on the snow days. I was very surprised to hear that there was no snow days in the calendar this year, which doesn't allow for days off. Is that correct?
This year?
Yeah.
Let her finish your question.
Okay, so, and then what happens though is if none was put in, now we're taking away from the spring break. I know a suggestion was made to follow Woodbridge, but my daughter works in Woodbridge and she's in school longer than Edison is, and they don't get all the religious holidays. So I think there's got to be some kind of happy medium in between. So you have a lot of homework to do prior to next year's calendar. Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Agreed. Yep. So we did have snow days built in. They were just built into spring break, which is well. It's not uncommon though too. I actually did a historical piece when I looked at this before. It was definitely done in Edison prior to the building in of snow days. There was usually 2 built into spring break, which was always done. Now, unfortunately, we've been on the plus side of giving those days back to the community over the court, right? So if I'm looking, in fairness to me, if I'm looking at the record, it's been pretty good over the last 5 years, thankfully, with in relationship to that. But unfortunately, you're only as good as your last decision. But right. But with that being said, Ms. Conway, we are definitely looking at days for next year to build in outside of spring break for those pieces, which I'm sure will win favor.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yep.
Good evening, Anthony Mara from Edison. I'm here to speak about something I emailed to you earlier February, something called the Parental Bill of Rights. It's an excellent piece of work produced by the Colts Neck Board of Ed. It honors mom and dad. I mean, who doesn't want to, who thinks we shouldn't honor mom and dad? When I was advocating against policy 5756 back whenever, I would often quote the 5th commandment in the 10 commandments, honor your father and your mother. Who can argue with that? I don't know how many board members or parents, if you are, you probably know what it is to be dishonored. I am a parent. I'm a grandparent. Shame on me. I know what it is to dishonor my parents. We don't want to do that. Unlike 5756, which you thankfully abolished last May, this deals exclusively with parents. There was a time when the rights in this Bill of Rights that I sent to you were understood. It was common sense. You didn't have to put it in writing. Things like opting out, things like parents have the right to consent or decline physical or mental health services offered by the school. Of course, mom and dad had that authority. Now you got to put it in writing. That's, well, so be it. Then put it in writing. Here it is. Some of you may say, well, we already have policies in Edison, Mr. Mara. If those policies are strong, then why did I have to, and why did others have to fight so hard to wipe out 5756? I started advocating against 5756 in August of 2023. I had to take a break because of a health issue. I resumed in February 2024. 24. From there to May, when you abolished it, I was before the board almost every meeting. There was a lot of fighting. Not with fisticuffs, but there were verbal back and forths with those who didn't like wiping out 5756. If parents' rights are so supreme, then why was there so much agita, so much fighting? This is the gold standard. Stuff in here is outstanding. Honor mom and dad, adopt this as a Bill of Rights. If you choose not to adopt this, what do you say to the parents of Edison? We don't want to give you rights. We don't want you to have the kind of common sense rights that I think all parents in their heart know either should exist or better exist. I'm old enough to remember when this stuff was common sense. Honor mom and dad, adopt this Bill of Rights, and you will bless the parents in Edison. I thank you.
Thank you. Next, yeah, please.
Good evening. Paul Lund, Woodbridge. I've been teaching now for 17 years. It was a second career for me. I teach science in alternative high school in Union County. I'm special ed endorsed, and I just want to give you a report from my perspective. But I do want to piggyback a little bit of what Tony had referenced. In Woodbridge, we do have policy transgender guidance 5756. Boys are allowed to use the girls' room if they're so inclined, and they have no affirmative positive duty to report to parents if the child is socially transitioning. They do stock the boys' room with tampons for trans girls, and I just want you to know that it is still alive and woke over in Woodbridge. Now, I've done a little research, being science teacher background, and the downturn in public schools actually started back in 1967. A lot of people don't realize that. A study on the GDP, gross domestic product, uncovered that there was a first time in decades that there was actually lower performance on standardized tests in 1967 as there had been up to that point. By 1980, high school graduates were a full grade and a quarter behind their peers before 1967. So the fact that we're going, a race to the bottom is not a new phenomenon. And I certainly don't lay it all on the feet of this Board of Ed. I will tell you, I've been around long enough to see the unintended consequences of policies like No Child Left Behind. Indeed, my own school district was caught cheating. The superintendent and teachers were feeding students the answers to high-stake tests so they can graduate on time and not appear to be a failing school district. Putting pressure on schools in that manner did not do anything to turn things around, nor did Common Core, nor did park testing, or all these other grand ideas come from the Department of Education, which I'm glad to see is being trimmed down and eliminated. What's happened, what's been lowered along with outcomes is expectations. As a teacher, I can tell you, and as someone who's now 63 years old, the expectations both academically and behaviorally have gone way down. What kids can get away with doing these days, we couldn't get away with in our day. And as far as academics, we know the nation's report card. In New Jersey, 8th graders are running around 35% proficient in reading. I mean, again, I don't lay that at the feet of this board. I just want to put things in context. A few extra holidays or a few less holidays is not really the secret to what's going on here. So I just have a couple questions. In Woodbridge, they changed the director of diversity, equity, and inclusion. They changed his title officially to Director of Access and Engagement. But if you look at the job description, they changed, instead of diversity, they used the word different. It was very superficial and an obvious way to dodge the federal government, which is taking a strong stance against the concept of indoctrinating our children with policies that are Marxist in origin. DEI is a direct descendant of critical race theory, as much as they like to deny it. Gender queer ideology is what put tampons in the boys' room. These are not central and core to an education. They never have been. They never will be. If they're running out of steam, it's not because of the Trump monster administration. It's because a lie pushed so hard can only go so far and so long before it's been revealed to be a farce. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yes.
My name is Gerald Maglio. I'm from the Dolores Turco Foundation. We're in Neptune. I've been here several times. You know, our mission is to protect children from abuse neglect and exploitation. I wanted to thank you, President Patel, and your entire board for your outstanding service to the community. I've been to many boards of education. Your district outperforms most of the districts in New Jersey. You're up there with the top. Your graduation rates are higher than the average rates in, especially, I think, JP, whatever your school was again, 96% graduation. So you're doing an outstanding job. But I'm here to urge you to adopt, following Tony's recommendation, the Parental Bill of Rights. It's simply a summary of already existing state, local, and federal laws in a document similar to what Colts Neck has done. It would not constitute any new policy or mandate, just easy access for parents to know their existing rights. It does not harm vulnerable students. It does not impose any ideology. It does not replace instruction. On the contrary, it builds trust, and information builds confidence, and transparency builds partnership, and partnership builds stronger schools. So the successful education of our children, as you know, because you are performing some at the top of the levels here, requires cooperation between home and school. So when parents feel informed rather than sidelined, when they feel respected, the relationship strengthens. And I know you pride yourself on community engagement, rightfully so, and providing a parent's bill of existing rights reaffirms that commitment. It's not about confrontation, it's simply about clarity, and it's not about control, just cooperation. I do want to point out that in support of parental rights, there was a Supreme Court decision in the last maybe month or two that ruled, and that's the Mahmoud versus Taylor, that ruled schools cannot shut parents or disregard their religious obligations for their children, and they have a right to know what their children are being taught. And I know that you did make some change, repeal a policy that interfered with those rights. And I bring up parental rights because in light of some New Jersey legislature that passed during the lame duck that will definitely directly affect you. And there's a bill, 3156, and while it allows school-based health clinics, which is doesn't sound like a bad idea, it's not an issue about school space or economics, but rather direct influence and access on children. And parental rights and control of health care decisions is at stake because the state also wants to lower the consent age to 14, so that with this bill and with the lowering the consent age for 14, there would be this would mean that a health center placed in a New Jersey school could provide services to any student without parental consent. And this legislation moves the primary health care from the school to the school environment where doctors and administrators replace parents. So those are some of the reasons why really to bring up parental rights is important at this time. And the last thing I just simply want to say that being that you were one of the first to rescind or did rescind policy 5756, you may be interested to know that the Academy of Pediatrics and the Endocrine Society and the Professional Association of Transgender Health are all being sued for deliberate lies and colluding to suppress the truthful studies that showed that those claims were false. And those false claims were the basis of 5756. So I applaud you again for having the wisdom to be able to see through that. And I thank you very much for what you do and for how you serve your community and the students and the state of New Jersey. I thank you for the opportunity to allow me to bring this, to address this board.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Raonic.
Matt Revnack, ETA President. I'm asking that my 6 minutes, if I go a little bit over, be waived as the union president. So a couple things first. Thanks, Al. So a couple things. First of all, I want to thank the board. We had our volleyball tournament last Thursday. Thank God we picked last week before the snow came. It was a great event. It's always great to get people around the district together. Good competition. I'm glad nobody got injured, other than I know Mr. Colibas took a little bit of a hit. Two, sorry. But I do thank you. I also think there's 2 board members that have already contributed, and I do appreciate that. I'm hoping that the rest of the board and participants, our goal is to try to raise, this is all about fundraising for 3 charities, Camp Kitty Keepwell, Buddy Ball of Edison, and ETA Scholarship Fund, which goes to our students at Edison High and JP. So our goal every year is for each team to contribute at least $600. Usually the schools do a little bit better than that even. So, you know, if you do have money, get it over to my office or call me or whatever, and I'll be glad to pick it up. All right, as far as the calendar goes, if Dr. Aldley's number 1 with being Dartstone, I'm probably number 2. My phone blows up. I get texts and emails as soon as there's 1 inch of snow or whatever. You know, what's going on, what's going to happen. So, you know, one thing, suggestion, I know I heard about Woodbridge, et cetera. You know, and I do believe a lot of respect toward the different religions and everything else that comes into play here. You know, the students do have a right to take the day, you know, if necessary for religious purposes. So that's something to keep in mind. I do think that you need to use every possible day now. We still have a long ways to go in terms of snow. I mean, they're talking next Tuesday a possible 3 to 5 inch or possibly more. So you know what, we are far from getting out of the woods of this. As far as next year's calendar goes, I was hoping there would be one presented today, because that's one of the things my people are badgering me about. They try to plan their vacations for next year, and you know, all the childcare when, you know, their children have school and ours doesn't, and vice versa. So, you know, but it's something I know I sent Dr. Aldarelli 4 calendars. You know, we've discussed certain things within them, so I'm hoping, you know, we have a decision soon on, you know, moving forward. I do understand the confusion. I know Ms. Conway brought it up. Most of the time, and I've been in the district 37 years, I am here longer than anybody in this room. You know, there are a couple times in which it was done this way. Usually speaking, there's additional days built in and they're given back. I did mention that to Dr. Aldarelli. It's always better to give something back than take something away. So hopefully that'll be a consideration. I know the calendars I gave, I did build in snow days for next year. But you know, it's gonna happen. I said, I'm going out to buy a snow blower because I'm getting too old to shovel 2 feet of snow. I know I'll buy a snow blower, and for the next 3 to 5 years, I won't have to use it.
That's right.
You know, it's Murphy's Law. Well, not in my pocketbook, it's not.
Murphy's Law.
But anyway, you know, sometimes you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. All right. As far as, one thing came up, the board policies that are listed. Usually there is a list, the actual policies with like the crossed out revisions and all. We didn't see anything on that. The attachments now, okay, because I was gonna say I looked this morning and there was nothing on the attachments. Sometimes we do catch things, so we'd like to bring that to your attention before you have your second reading and adoption of those. So thank you, I didn't, know that they just appeared. Read Across America, yes, great time. We'll be having, as always, it culminates in our ETA award ceremony, in which we honored usually the 2 best per grade level, up through the, and including the high schools. So I'll get you guys a date for that. I know Dr. Aldarelli has always come to it, which we appreciate. As far as was mentioned about the athletics and opening the gyms, you better check into that. I believe that is illegal by NJSAI rules, that you cannot have students in the facility in which they participate in sports. I know I coached years ago and that was the case. And my daughters were both softball players into the late 2000 teens. And even there, I actually ran it one year in an off-site. We were told, and as far as I know, the rule has not changed. You don't want in any way our sports or anything being sanctioned because we did something, against the NJSIAA rules. Okay? The final thing I want to mention, I know it's coming up, the budget. I read your State of the Edison address, besides being here and hearing you talk about it, but I actually read it pretty in depth, and it's very impressive. The one thing I was a little disappointed on when it came about budget and finance, it did say that, you know, overseeing and make sure that every dollar is pretty much spent for, you know, the benefit of students, which I think we all believe that should be the case. You know, one of the things I was questioning, you know, is the district health in terms of the financial stability right now. I guess part of that was answered with the auditor today. You know, it concerns me when he said, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, you know, we had 16.8 million in excess funding, and last year, or this year, I guess, it's like just over 8 million. That's $8 million less to play with. You know, I've spoken here about the 5 years of zero budgets. You know, Governor Sherrill will be having her state of, or her budget actually for the state on March 10th. Within a day or two, we usually get our numbers. Last year, we were cut 2.8 million. Who knows what it's gonna be this year, because there is a budget deficit as well. So, you know, I think we need, and I hope that you guys will take a good hard line at that. You know, it's easy to say, well, things aren't be affected. We know they are, okay? When a budget is frozen in October and you can't always get the supplies you need, or this program is being looked at as potentially being cut, or, you know, a program that a teacher uses in the classroom, it's a little too expensive. Principals are being asked, or administrators like to look and see what ways they cut. And I believe in financial responsibility, believe me. I think the district needed to do, years ago, I talked to the business administrator, Mr. Mashad was here, about doing a total fitness report of your district. You know, financial, staffing, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to turn into places like Hackettstown. I know it was mentioned like Spotswood and Perth Amboy. That's also East Brunswick and South Brunswick, by the way, who have issues, Piscataway, Old Bridge. So there are districts around us that, because of certain things, are struggling right now. Last thing I want to see is our kids' programs affected, staff cut, because that means increased class sizes, you know, and that's not good. The final thing, as far as budget, I have been contacted by a number of people in the community about the presentation of budget. In the past, there was always a document given where it was literally broke down almost line by line based off of how everything was spent, percent, you know, increases or decreases in that particular line item. And, you know, I said, listen, I can get up and mention it. We're all taxpayers. We all like to see where the money is spent. And that's just something I wanted to share with the board, because I have received some phone calls from members of the community.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Final thing before I step off, I've been in this district 37 years, and I appreciate you guys coming out. I don't see the parents in this district of having an issue as not being part of the process, being engaged what goes on here. In fact, it's even more so than ever before. I know committees that have been set up. You know, these guys last month adopted their office hours. There's constant, you know, engagement from the parents. You know, I know that there are things that if a parent sends in, like they don't want their student, you know, to opt out of this or not be taught, it's always granted. So, you know, I appreciate you coming out, but I know in my 37 years here, that has never been really an issue, especially more recently. Thank you.
Matt. Anyone else?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. I guess board member comments? Go for it.
Thank you. One thing Mr. Revnick mentioned was about the open gyms. Is this working?
Yes.
Working?
Yep,
Okay.
yep,
I think, and we'll check into the use of the gym, I think it's allowed if the coach is not there. As long as the coach of that particular sport is not there,
Yes.
it is allowed. Because I coached before, and I know Mr. Revnick coached before. So as long as there's not a coach there for softball, baseball, whatever program we have there, I think we're in good shape. Couple things I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention in the athletic report. Since Mr. Ross is not here, which is sad, because I know he would like to be here, we had some good things. How's he say it?
What's great about Edison
What's great about Edison High School? Okay.
One final point, right?
We had a third male athlete score 1,000 points in basketball. Unbelievable. I was there. I'm going to try to pronounce his name. Diraj Samper Boyina. I'm sorry I messed that up, but we did do well. I know the Board of Ed posted a picture of it with his coaches. Congratulations to him and his coaches. We also had, and I was there for these, 2 100-win wrestlers, and I think more to come. Fernando Avilon and Jeremy Negron both recorded their 100th win as a wrestler. Also, getting back to D-Raj, not only is he third male, he's about 10 points of being a top male scorer in Edison High School history, which I think he already may have accomplished. The rest of the games are away. So I think he had 1 or 2 games after that. So I'm sure he is the top scorer in Edison High School history. And I wish Mr. Ross well and hope to see him soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yep, Jeannie.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you to our buildings, grounds, maintenance. The guys have been doing an incredible job with an incredible storm. I rode past Ben Franklin on my way here, and it's clear. It's amazing when you consider the amount of snow that we had. But as always, they are outstanding guys. You know, good job. We're really proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shi.
Yeah, I just want to echo that, Mr. Murphy, okay, Mr. Carnibus, great job. And I don't trust you guys, so I went out. So I went out yesterday to check out the work.
Too good to be true.
So I went out to check out the work that you guys been doing, right? Or your team's been doing. I'm very, very impressed at when I hit the school ground. And my car was sliding back and forth, on Grove and New Dover. I was going to go to the South Edison, and then I say, stop it, safety first. But great job on the school that I saw. And, today on my way to work, I saw them all clean, blacktop all the way. The bus depot is also clean. So we're ready to open the school tomorrow.
Jerry, excuse me,
And,
Jerry, you
yeah.
could have called me. I would have told you Southside Edison was clean.
Oh,
The
okay.
schools were in good shape
Okay.
down there.
Yeah, I should have called you on that. So next time, all right?
Okay.
So just want a couple of things that we have an open office hour for the board members, which is this Thursday. 2 slots, 12:30 to 1:30 and 4:30 to 5:30. If folks did not get a chance to come to a school board meeting today, they can come on Thursday, 2 slots to meet the board members face to face to talk about anything that they want to talk about, right? The other thing is the student ambassador program that we started this year. We had 239 students applied, 239. This is from 8th grade and up. So a lot of interest, and we're going to announce these ambassadors very soon. So each board members has the task of pick up, the ambassadors from, each schools. The other is the volleyball, the ETA volleyball. I hope they raise a lot of money. And, J.P. Stevens won the championship. But for the record, there's only one team who beat J.P. Stevens. Okay? That's a BOE team. Right? So we're going to practice a little bit more, and we're going to be the champion next year. And you will see a trophy right sitting in the front at the next year.
Mr. Shi, I think if we had Dr. Kassane, we would have won.
Yes. Outside the, striker, yes. Right? And also, on March 3rd, we is a registration opening for the PULSE program. The PULSE is Parents United Listening, Sharing, and Engagement. Is that correct?
Got it, Mr. Shi.
Okay, long word. So basically, the board members and the community relations committee and our administration team meet with the parents. We hear your concerns. So that's another opportunity for these parents to come in and let us know what they want, right? The other thing is great news for what's great about Edison. I mean, Mr. Ross is not here today. We have another student with the name of Neil Aristoni. He made a good choice of going
Naval
to,
Academy?
I'm sorry, Army, West Point, okay? West Point. So very, very smart choice of not going to Navy. Sorry. This is the third student in the recent years from Edison High that went to West Point. His brother is a Cal over there. Cal is the third year, so he's gonna have 1 year overlap with his brother, and also his cousin went to West Point. I think he graduated a couple years ago, but he was from JP. So kidding aside, there are 5 military academies. Army, the best, of course. Then you have Air Force, Naval, Coast Guard, and Marine Merchant. They're all federal academies. I hope to see more students applying for those. These academies, the opportunities from these academies provide to students is way over than these Ivy Leagues. People will say, hey, you're full of crap, but I have the experience to say that. The opportunity from these military academies, you cannot beat. Even these top Ivy League schools, you cannot beat that. So I hope to see more and more students going to these military academies, not only these federal academies, there are other academies as well, to have the opportunity to serve the country. Right? So I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Oh, one more thing. The summer scholar program that Mrs. Pan mentioned, a lot of work has went in, and more is gonna come for the details of these summer programs. So I hope that we'll try to get more interest from our students to get into these programs instead of playing video games, as Mrs. Pan said. So stay tuned for more detailed information on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Pang?
Yeah, I just want to say that I was at the ETA volleyball events last week. Great events, great charity, and I think I was playing all games. Maybe that's why we didn't win. But I think if we practice a little bit more, because I haven't played in like 20 years, we might have a chance next year. So yeah, but thank you for organizing this event. We really had a lot of fun. Just another note that I was just thinking of this office hour that, we're really trying to engage our parents to communicate with our board members. We wanted to hear you. So we had this office hour this Thursday, noon session and afternoon session. I'm gonna ask Dr. Adderley, maybe we can provide a Zoom link that we can broadcast to all the parents, because I think a lot of people may not be able to come in person to meet us. So if we send out a Zoom link, they are more than welcome to just dial in and talk to us. We're going to be here every month for this office hour thing. So please, have any issues, any concerns, any complaints, you're going to talk to us directly, just the board members. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, it's the last Thursday of each month. Last Thursday of each month. 2 slots, 12:30 to 1:30, 4:30 to 5:30.
Thank you. Mr.
Board
Zarella?
President, yes. Like Dr. Aldarelli said and Jenny White said, and I'm sure everyone here thanks to Mr. Colabas and Mr. Murphy. It's not easy, the leadership, not only to get a job done, but to have the tremendous responsibility of having their employees' safety involved as well. Because without the employees, the work doesn't get done. Doesn't matter how smart they are, how dedicated they are. The employees, it comes down to the employees wanting to do a good job and knowing that they're appreciated as well. Many parents, many students, faculty, they're staying home. They have to make the decision what time to go out, when to go out, when to plow, when to shovel sidewalks, when to put ice melt down, so that the faculty, the students, the parents can get the kids to school safely. So it's a tremendous responsibility, and with that, hard work, dedication, not only from their leadership, but also buildings, the men and women of buildings and grounds, and the custodians, through their hard work, dedication. I know I do it as well, so I have a tremendous appreciation for what they do and the men and women that provide a safe parking space and a sidewalk for the students to walk on. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Galibus? Yes, please, yes.
Go get him, Will.
That was board
Yes,
member
Andy,
comments.
your school is. And first of all, you know, it's the old adage, a team is only as good as the manager, is true. And I appreciate not only the board's dedication to get us the equipment that we
Isn't it
need.
the other way around, Willie?
What's that?
You said team is only as good as the
I
manager.
I said the manager's only as good as a team.
Oh.
So, honestly, thank you. It's not me and Scott, we're the leaders, but it's our men and women that are out there working throughout the night, working all day yesterday. And again, it's the board that gets us the equipment. And with regards to volleyball, even though I fell and took a good hit, I got up and kept going, so. And we will win next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bounce back better than the ball.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, adjourn.
Right. People watch the weather now.